Now then, and welcome back to another episode of My World. Today, I'm looking back in time, really. I'm looking back in time at a previous world save that me and my son, Electon B, otherwise known as Sam, started together in Nemsun is My Dad, Season 1. And this place happens to be the Father's Day fireplace from the year that this clip is from.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Nemsun's My Dad. And the last one was Father's Day edition, so we're doing, because on that episode we said we were going to do another one where we made
Episode 10.5 the midweek episode.
The midweek episode.
Where we're going to go and get ourselves killed. Okay, I go first?
Yeah, and then I'll go out.
Actually, no, you go first. I want to hear your reaction. Go on. You go first and I'll hear your reaction. Is it working?
I'm trying to download. It's downloading terrain now. You won't be able to see it. You wouldn't. No, it's all black. It's all black. It's fine now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, it's loaded. Alright.
So that's from the Father's Day episode back in 2013. Our first father and son Nemsun is My Dad series, Season 1. We started building on this big mountain up here. We actually started over there, built a bridge all the way across to this great big mountain over here, and we started building what was going to be our castle. And on that day in history, we set ourselves up going into the Nether for the first time, and built a fireplace to commemorate the day and all that kind of stuff. It was all good fun. We enjoyed it. But we never got the place finished because my daughter decided she wanted to play as well. So it became Nemsun is Our Dad. And we started Season 2, Nemsun is Our Dad. But we'll get to that later. That's another story. Today, though, I want to move what we started in Season 1, all of this kind of stuff. I want to move it. I want to move it onto the new My World world save on the server. So the things that we have done in the past all get carried on into the future. I like starting new worlds, and over the years I've started many new worlds. And this is one of those new worlds that I don't want to just consign to the trash can. I've got a save of it. I've got a copy of the save of it. I've even got my inventory from the last day on it. And what kind of stuff do we have lurking around in here? Quite a bit of stuff, actually. Quite a bit of stuff lurking around in here. This must have been Electon B's stuff that he had stored away. This was kind of like our starter cave. Our starter cave, our starter base. This is what we built. We built it up, we made it a bit safe, we did a few bits and pieces. We actually spawned in around here, and Electon, he set up the first server seed. So he made the first seed for the server, and we started off around here. Yeah, links are in the description and all that. There's a setup down in the mine that was quite cool. I would go all the way down and show you, but it's basically a branch mine. Maybe we'll get to see that a bit later on when we're editing it into the world. I'm going to be doing a little bit of Minecraft world edit and a little bit of creative mode when we get it over onto the new server, just to make sure that it all fits in perfectly. There's another little place over here that's also firmly in the memory of Season 1 of Nemsun is My Dad, and that is the desert village over here, where the majority of the episodes took place once we saw it from afar. When we saw it from our mountain, we started exploring and we found this place over here. We started playing in it and made something of it. And now we've started a new village on the new server, almost identical path really. We find a village and decide we want to keep it and play on it. This was back in the day though, when you've got the cold biomes right next door to the hot biomes, right next door to the tropical jungle biomes. It was quite a place, really, quite a place. This was the just a village, and we just made it nicer. and we messed about with it. We put a pig farm in it, and we made sure that it was safe, and we fortified, and we farmed, and we made it good, and we enjoyed ourselves, and it was fun, and we made a series out of it. But look, yeah, still the cold, snowy biome right next to the desert biome, right next to a jungle biome, next to extreme hills biomes and a plains biome, and a forest biome. All the biomes all close together in this version of Minecraft back in the day. But today we're going to update it. We're going to bring it into the new world. It's ready for an upgrade, and I plan on doing the same thing for many of my builds and things in previous times. Raw potatoes, jacket potatoes, bones and coal. Just what we want to see, bones and coal. Why would we put bones in? Oh, bone meal, of course. We could bone meal the potatoes, that's it. We had a potato farm up the top here, which looks like we kept it up to date, because we've recently replanted and redone. So there you go, that's that. That's how recent this world save is. How recent the game save itself is. And how you, chappy butt that's locked in behind the area here and can't get out? You must have had some good trades for some reason. Arrows? Really? That's why you ended up imprisoned in here for all eternity. You were the arrow seller. You would sell arrows to us. We didn't even unlock his other trades. What about you? You're not trapped though, are you? You a wolf? Yeah, there's lots and lots. But yeah. The first things first, okay? So, I've given you a little show around. We've had a little look about what's in here. We can't open these chests anymore in this version of Minecraft. You can't open with half slabs over the top of things. I guess that was an annoying thing that they didn't like at Mojang. That you could still have a half slab and still open a chest under a slab. It just doesn't make sense, does it? Why would you be able to open that lid when you've put something solid over the top of it? It's supposed to be solid, but if it was a transparent block, the chest would open. So it's good that they've corrected it. It's just a shame that we've got to now deal with that. But anyway, you've just had a look through the stuff and things that we've got on this particular world save. Now what I want to do, if we can go into game mode 1, is take a look around and figure out what it is exactly that we want to save from this world, so that we can transfer it through World Edit onto the new save file. As I've probably mentioned a few times, I plan on taking this with us into the new world. Now, I'm not so fussed about the temple. That temple we cleared out, but we didn't really do anything with. I can't remember doing anything inside it other than just lighting it up so it was safe. I think we just stripped it of its belongings. Oh, we kind of opened it up a little bit and made a bit of a carpet out of it, but yeah, there's nothing really going on down there. We just got rid of all that. So I'm not bothered about this temple. We just made the temple neat and tidy so that we could live next to it. So the little desert village we need, and we're going to need a little bit... Well, do we need the plains biome? I don't think we need this little plains biome section. I don't think we can worry about that. So we're going to need to take that. That's easy to register in World Edit. I'll be able to just select that whole village and plant it somewhere else. This, on the other hand, is a little bit more difficult because we kind of have a mountainside over here, which I don't think I could find generated fresh somewhere new, and a half-finished castle that I don't need everything underneath it. And then there's also this little section here, which this, I believe, is an important section. The village is an important section. And that mountaintop over there with a bridge going to it is an important section. But the farm down there, there's a chicken farm down there and the little runway down to it and all that kind of stuff. I don't think we'll miss that. I don't think we really did much with that at all. Yeah, it's just this one little mountainous area here. Maybe a little bit of water next to it would be pretty cool. Yeah. So let's see what we can do by loading it up in World Edit and getting something sorted. So now here we are, and here's an interesting view in World Edit, seeing the world differently for the first time. It's quite cool. We've got the similar layout, of course, it's exactly the same as the world, so it's a similar layout to what we've just been looking at, but we can move around a lot quicker and we can select things, such as selecting this whole section here, the stuff that we want. Now, I think I want to take what I've take is going to go with us to the new world save, and I think what I'm going to want to take is something around here. So I think I want to take, let's go from there, right? Now this is going to be a little more tricky, because now I've got a box around the whole thing all the way down to where I want it to be, and I know I need this much in, but let's see how far down we need to go. There's a few lava pools and stuff, and oh yeah, down into our mine shaft system, which I'm sure we'll see better very soon. I don't really want to go too much further than this. This is down to Y13. If I do the Y13 business, then I'm probably going to end up putting it in the wrong place, aren't I? So yeah, I don't want to go down too far. So let's just go down far enough that we include the little ladder going down. Right, so we just see, I hope you can keep up. We can just see about here, right? Like that. Now, where we've got that, we can start pulling sides out so that we can pull that bit out to match into there. We can make sure that this is low enough down and all that. So we could give it a little bit more if we wanted, just to make sure that it fits into whatever world we place it, whatever part of the world we place it next. We just make sure that we got the boxes right. So obviously there we've got a little bit of that top of the house not covered, so we'll cover that with a couple of blocks there. How far across do we want this to go? We want it to go far enough in to cover this section here, which it looks like it is, and far enough over here to cover this section here. So actually we'll take that in a little bit more because we don't need all that water. There we go. We can slot that into someplace a lot easier now. And on the other side, I'm not sure. I think that's probably good enough, because we've got that little edge of the water just there. We've got to remember to latch that in somewhere, and that kind of just goes down to that first little hill there, which will do something else instead of this little section here. So we've got that now. We've now got selected the area that I want to save. Now I'm also going to do the same thing over there for that castle and also for the village, but this is going to be the first thing to save as. So I'm going to export this, and if I can remember, I will export it like so and put it somewhere nice and safe. Okay, so now we've got the schematic saved. I've got to figure out where to put it on the world itself. So down here we've got the village so far, the spawn village, and Ranger B's little castle on the side there. We've got what we've been building as the village there, and a little bit of exploring has been done. And immediately I'm looking for a mountain, because I need a mountainside. And this looks like a cool mountainside over here. Looks like a cool mountain. Has this very cool looking little area in between the mountain top itself and like that little area there. Has a little bit of water down the side here as well, with a little bit of a forest. Could be a cool looking place, especially if the mountain's up there and this is the base out this way somewhere. So this is a definite preference. This looks like it could be a really cool build over here. But I also spotted that there's this place over here. It has got a little bit of roundedness on the top and a little runoff area to the side there. A fair amount of water around it as well, which is cool. We might have a few bits and pieces over there that's cool. Interesting, but it's also very close to the witch hut. The witch hut here. So if I'm going to make the witch hut significantly good, we're probably going to have to level a lot of that terrain. So that's probably too close to the witch hut to make that a good valid location. Okay, so now we've got it. It's here. We can nudge it up a little bit. You see the fireplace on there and everything. It's still all in working order. It's just now getting the right kind of viewpoint to it. It kind of fits nicely that this little section around here, let's go around here. This little section around here has got this kind of same curve on it as this used to have. I can bring it over here like this. Yeah, it's kind of got the same sort of curve on it, which is nice. I could bring it down a little bit to make this a little bit more fluid into the next section, because I don't want to have the bottom kind of sticking out. I don't want to have the bottom sticking out, do I? I don't want to have the bottom sticking out. And so I want to sink it into the ground a little bit. Otherwise we're going to have this kind of overhang everywhere around it all. And we don't want that, do we? We don't want this overhang over here either. So having it down a little ways is a good thing, I think. So a little bit of adjusting, a little bit of moving stuff around, a little bit of getting things ready, and we'll be good. So I'm quite pleased with it overall. Let's have a look to see how the next section goes. We're going to deselect all of those chunks, and then we'll have a little fly around it, see what we're like. Overall, we can do a little bit of creative work on that. We can delete a few bits of these trees off the top here. We've got a little bit of a tree here to get rid of, because it's got cut down the middle there. A little bit of the mountain to take into effect down there, but that's okay. Better that than not. And we've got a little bit of messing around to do over there, and maybe take a bit off this edge and grind it down a little bit. We didn't really need all this anyway. So yeah, we've got that. That's good. That's in the right place. That'll do me. It was probably this edge that needed to be the most secure, so that the castle was in a good place with a good view over this side of the setting. And then over here, this hilltop section, this bit over here, let's have this and let's nudge it around a little bit. So it's supposed to be kind of like this. We need to go down fair ways into the water, so we can't see any of that water over there. That's good. And it kind of needs to be a very similar level to what was this over here. So I can only judge it right now. I might have to change it a little bit more later, but that's not too bad, is it? That's not too bad. We could probably go with the water level being kind of like a thing that we recognize. So the water level is about right there. Down one more brings us into that. And I don't know, that feels like it's the right level. It feels like it's the right level to match into this little section over here. We can build this bridge back out over to that, and then we're away. So what else can we do? Can we nudge it out a little bit? Make it a little bit better out this way? We leave a gap on the inside then, don't we? We've got a big gap like that though, so maybe this is okay. Maybe let's have a look around this side. This was actually a hilly area down this side. I've got a little bit of a mine shaft on this side to sort out, so we probably want to bring it further out this way, because at the end of the day we had this section here, so this kind of needs to latch onto that but not go into it. I've got a flat area just on the end there, you see, so that needs to blend into that wall there. I think now we have to import it and see how that looks. Well, it looks like it should. Let's deselect it and have a look around. So we've got a little bit of a water issue down here, of course, because we've added it in without the water. So we're going to need to flood that area a little bit. We're going to have to work on a little bit over here. Take some edges off around here as well, just to get the water in straight and sort that out. We're then going to have to make the bridge go across there. But we do end up with a connected area that's like our first build, fitting into a nice mountain range over there, and this little flat area on top of the mountains needs a bit of work in creative as well, but nothing we can't handle. And I will also find a spot for that desert village soon enough. I think there was some place near to the mesa biome that we could probably throw that in at, just because it was pretty cool looking. That, and maybe there's something over in this direction. Maybe I could throw something on the beach here, just because it was close to the original world. But the original world save is now in its new place, which is pretty cool, and we're going to see how that looks in just a minute. So Ranger Bees made a little chicken farm to go with the pig farm and the sheep farm over here. We've now got multicoloured sheep and all that. But I'm in creative mode because I'm wondering what that looks like over there now. So this is how it looks in the real world. Like, this is how it's going to look from now on. So up on the mountainside there, we'll be able to see our first castle, our first area that me and Electron B made. It's going to be overlooking this little section down here. I'd like to get most of the stuff within walking distance. Let's have a look over here, see how it looks. Obviously we've got a few bits and pieces to blend in here, but I don't think it's going to take too much work. Just kind of blending this area into this mountainside over here. Just add a few blocks, take a few blocks away, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Round this side of it is the worst of it, really. The worst of it is this sheer section here. I'm going to have to do quite a bit of work on messing around with that. I could potentially copy paste a section of another mountainside onto it, or I can clean it off myself. It originally had this kind of texture to it, this kind of shape to it, which I've got to move and change around now. And over here, this little section here needs a bit of work. We've got a cut off waterfall now, which maybe would look cool somewhere, but very little work to do in blending that in to make it look good. Very little work to blend that in. And round this side again, I think I need to fill this in, or excavate it all together and just completely take all of this dirt off here and make that mountain slope down a little bit. And then over here we've got this little section of the area, and yes, it does look very much like I need to change this around a little bit because it needs to go up there. But then I can always take this up from here a little ways and head over there in the same sort of diagonal pattern. I never did like that bit there, and this bit here needs knocking down as well. This great big overhang, I think I'll get rid of that while I'm in creative mode and doing this as well. But this mountain range should quite quickly fit into all this section. And once I start updating these blocks around here, the water should start connecting itself as well quite nicely, no doubt. Alright, so a lot of work's been done. The kids have been on and helped me do a lot of terraforming and stuff as well. They're off playing on minigame servers at the minute, which I'll be joining them to go and play some minigames very soon. Most of this is blended in nicely though. I've got rid of overhangs and I've tried to secure it and make it all blend in as if it was originally intended. There may still need to be a little bit more work done to that edge there, but you can hardly tell where the join is, apart from where this snow currently is. The snow marks where it was originally, and I've just added a little bit on the sides there to build it in. This has all been like crafted and worked from the ground up to curve it in and out to generate this kind of terrain. I'm still not happy with the dirt overhanging. That's not normally a thing that I like in Minecraft. I don't like to see dirt supporting itself like that. So some of these bits I will still come back to and change around a little bit like that. But that was the original generation, I believe. So yeah, this kind of original generation of stuff is kind of annoying, but at the same point I can fix it fairly quickly. But then I've got to go in here and do these bits as well. So I might be just better off just leaving it as it is, really. Just leaving the dirt hanging like that. We have animals now flooding into the area, thinking it's a good place for a farm. The bridge has been located slightly higher. I had to raise it a couple of blocks here. In fact, that should also be stone, just to make it look right. Raised it a couple of blocks into there, so that the stairs are still in the same place, but just a couple of blocks higher, so it would fit with the rest of the area like that. And around here, I left this overhanging thing. I think one of the boys wanted to do something with it, so I decided to leave it and let them do something with it. Over this side, we've blended it in with sheer cliff faces up the side here into this area, and all the way down here. This has been the longest time filling all this in with some kind of contour all the way across the back end here, because it was just a sheer flat surface and a square corner there. And we've kind of blended it in into here as best we can, roughly and just quickly, really, rough and quick. That's all it's been over there, but it's working fine. We can do a little bit here and there as the building happens. We can do that in survival. We've got the main entry point for it all. It's now in place, and the Father's Day fireplace is in the right place, and we can work on building the castle up a little bit more. 4 years in the making, this castle. 4 years in the making, and it's not finished yet. Now over on this side, as you can see, we've blended in this area around here a little bit, made a little bit of a pool. The start of a river, it felt like, so we started a waterfall cascading down into the start of the river and around there. There may need to be some struts holding this up. We never did have anything that was holding this bridge up on the previous thing, so, well, never mind. And this whole area here, it was leading into a plains, wasn't it? It was leading into a plains biome with just a little river running through it. Now, I don't really want to get rid of this water. I kind of like this body of water, and I kind of like the look of that mountainside over there. I just like the look of the place in general, really. It's not bad. We do have a little bit of an overhang up there to mess about with, maybe, but the majority of it fits in nicely, and this in particular looks fairly much like we built it in the place that it is now. I'm pleased with that. It would cut off here because this actually went onto another platform, so we've built a little stairwell coming down here, and there's this little dock harbour little area in here now where we can see out into the beautiful surroundings, and also put boats and stuff and boat around. There is still this kind of like the sheerness dropping down here, but we did invent a few little areas. Like Thomas decided that he wanted to put some coal and stuff in there somewhere. He also did that up here as well, more decoration than anything else. I don't think we actually need to claim the coal or dig it out. I don't think that's the plan. And did a lot of work with the inside of this like caving area to make sure that all the dirt was held up by stone, and we've got it all working around here. Changed this area around a little bit and sloped it off a little bit more because I believe it came to a little bit more of a mountainous area around here. So I've shaved all that off and done something around here. Need to kind of fill in the water. You're not going to be able to see much there. Kind of make this drop off a little more realistic, like some of the stages over here. This kind of drop off over here is good. I need to make this a little bit more of a sheer drop off instead of a one block drop. That kind of stuff. And I think overall it's looking pretty good. Round here I spent a lot of time filling in to make sure that it looked like it was a pool instead of a big gap in the ground leading to what was the ocean bed. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with the progress. I'm pretty pleased with the situation of it all. The situation of that and this from our first Nemsun is my dad world now into my Minecraft world on the server for the family. So we can carry on using it and experiencing it and remembering the days of building it. I don't think we're going to advance it much more than that, to be fair. Maybe the castle's going to get a lot more building done to it. Maybe we'll actually do all that building, but I'm pretty sure the fireplace is going to stay as it is. We might just build a room around it. 4 years in the making. It may be pretty awesome. So that is all we've got time for in today's episode. Thank you all very, very much for watching today's MC Edit episode of My World. I will be doing more of these. I've got lots of other world saves, and I want to show you some of my older worlds, and I want to bring them into the current world and share them with you and my children and in video to refresh the place and make my world my way. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode very soon. Goodbye.